Mistakes are fine, just not too many. Welcome to another episode of Self-Employed Success Secrets Weekend Edition. On today's episode, we're going to talk about how peccadillos, foibles, and other types of mistakes are completely acceptable as you live your life. You probably hold yourself to a very high standard, which is great. Continue to hold yourself to a high standard, but understand and give yourself grace when you make a mistake, and how a mistake every now and then is fine, but a mistake every day is gonna hurt you. Okay, but first let's talk about this channel. This channel is dedicated to helping you become happily self-employed, to give you tips, tricks, and techniques to help you solve a problem that you may experience being self-employed. A problem you may see is that you may get mistake anxiety, where you guilt trip yourself every time you drop the ball, metaphorically. And so I want to tell you that you can relax a little bit, okay? Your employer knows that you're going to make mistakes. You just don't want to be known for making mistakes, okay? You don't want to make recurring mistakes, okay? And also, too, a lot of mistakes are going to happen when you're learning something new, when you first begin your job. Don't beat yourself up for it. I know what I used to do when I made mistakes was I beat myself up, and it would affect what I did the next time. You know, I may be a bit skittish, or I may be still berating myself because I made a mistake. Okay, mistakes are going to happen. You just don't want to be known for your mistakes. You kind of want to be like a Major League Baseball player where they make a mistake every so often that it's rare and it's puzzling when they make a mistake. You want to be as close to perfect as possible, but not be so defensive in terms of like your mindset is, oh, I hope I don't make a mistake. I hope I don't make a mistake. I hope I don't make a mistake. You know, you want to play to win, but just understand that mistakes are incidental to playing to win and playing fast. And usually the faster you go, the more mistakes you're going to make. Okay, but one thing I've learned is that there's a silent tracker of all your mistakes. If you make a mistake every now and then, as I'm saying, you're safe and sound. Your employer will love you. But if every time they look up, you're making some mistake, like let's say you send the wrong email to someone, you give inaccurate information to a question that's asked, it'll erode trust. And that is, trust is the linchpin of being successfully self-employed, or trust is the linchpin to having good client relations with the people that employ you, okay? So you really want to watch out for your mistake frequency, but not beat yourself up when these things happen, and learn from your mistakes. That's the number one thing you can do with your mistakes, is learn and be in the present. A lot of mistakes happen for me when I'm either thinking about the next client I'm going to work with, or I'm doing something I'm not very familiar with. Okay, these things are going to happen, but it's just cutting down the frequency, and it's by just going slower, by giving yourself grace, by having checklists. There's a lot of things you can do to eliminate mistakes, by being careful. You know, like let's say a lot of times, with what we're doing is very attention oriented. We have to put a lot of attention into it. Let's say you submit something that's a duplicate, right? That's a mistake. How would you solve that mistake? By being a bit more careful next time. So there's a lot of things you can do to prevent you from making a mistake, okay? And remember, mistakes aren't fatal. It's the consistent mistakes that are fatal, okay? And you don't want to be making the same mistakes over and over again. That kind of shows just a character flaw if you're doing the same thing over and over again. So you just want to come to work with a very high level. Your mistakes matter probably 3 times as more as the things you do right. So you've got to do 30 things right to balance out 10 mistakes. Okay? So it's more important to watch out for mistakes than it is to do things right. I'm going to say that again. It's more important to watch out for mistakes than to do things correctly. Okay? Because mistakes are going to happen, and it's best to make mistakes your boss doesn't know about. Okay? But it's especially painful to make mistakes in front of people. Like, I've been there when you say you sent an email and you didn't. That's a mistake. I've been there when you send over a number that is incorrect. That's a mistake. Okay. I've been there when you say someone's name wrong or tell somebody something that's just, or you submit a report that wasn't accurate. Okay. I've been there. I can tell you about it. It's a terrible feeling. It's disconcerting to make mistakes, but they're going to happen. That's how you learn. But don't make the same mistakes. Be careful. Be disciplined. Have checklists. A lot of things you can do to take action against future mistakes, because you're either preparing to do things correctly or you're repairing things. Okay, you're either preparing or repairing at any time in your life. Either preparing to go to work and make as little mistakes as possible, or you're repairing the mistakes that you made. So you want to be in the preparation stage and understand that. And also to learn yourself. When do you make the most mistakes? Is it when you're stressed? Is it after a whole long time at work? Is it after lunch? Whatever the case may be. There's a time and a day and a pattern that you make a mistake. So keep in mind and beware yourself. Okay. All right. Bye.